안녕하세요. 제 이름은 조지나입니다. 대한민국 살아요. What I just said was, hello, my name is Georgina and I am living in South Korea. I completed my TEFL course with the Knowledge Workshop in 2014, and thereafter I ended up teaching actually at the Knowledge Workshop for about 6 or 7 months. And then I made my way to South Korea at the end of February and began my teaching contract on the 1st of March 2015. I chose to teach English in Korea because while I was researching the process of teaching in a foreign country, Korea was a country that came up a lot in terms of my research, and I'd heard so many great things about it. I ended up meeting a lot of people who had gone through the process and spoke very highly of Korea, the country, the people, the culture, and as a perk, the salary is very good. So all the elements that I was looking for came together. And also a huge part of my decision to choose Korea was I wanted to spend at least a year living in a country where the culture is completely different to mine, and they speak a language I don't understand. I thought that would be a challenging and interesting experience for me. I went through an agency called Korean Horizons, and the name of my recruiter was Alistair Wary. He is actually based in South Korea, and he was extremely efficient and very, very helpful. And so my placement in Korea was fairly smooth, although there was a bit of disappointment. Unfortunately, the first time I tried to apply, I couldn't get my documentation shipped to Korea in time, and so I lost my placement. But regardless, I ended up being here in March, and I'm very, very happy here. I live in the sort of western coast of Korea in a province called Cheongnam, and I'm staying in a small county called Yesan. Originally, I'd wanted to be in an area called Busan, which is on the south coast, which is a very popular spot for many people to visit because it is considered like the Cape Town of Korea. Amazing nightlife, delicious food, beautiful beaches, etc. Well, firstly, if you want to teach in Korea, their policy has become a lot stricter. So, of course, you definitely need to have a TEFL course. And I found my course at the Knowledge Workshop to be very stimulating, fun, and an extremely rewarding experience. I felt that I learned and grew a lot. And I definitely learned, although I have found that on-hand, real-life classroom situations are inevitably different to what I practiced or envisioned it to be. Definitely my background at the Knowledge Workshop helped me get to grips with what it means to be a teacher, to deal with a communicative approach, classroom management and discipline and things like that. Depending on how much experience you have, depending on what kind of qualification you have, your salary level will be slightly different, but you are looking at anywhere upwards from 20,000 Rand a month, which is a great amount. And while it is very likely that you can save a lot of money, I think one thing that I wasn't aware of before I came was how expensive the cost of living in Korea is. In order to get from the Korean won into Rand, all you do is drop 2 zeros. So for example, if you're buying an ice cream and it's 2,500 won, it's 25 Rand. It's very easy to convert it in your head. Because of that, it's very shocking perhaps to notice how an apple, single apple might cost something like 35 Rand, a bunch of bananas costs, or a bag of peaches costs something like 100 Rand. But then again, the money works differently here, and so you can't just simply convert everything. But that being said, the cost of living in Korea is fairly high, and so your salary is relative to that. But regardless, I must say that I'm able to save a bit every month, and I really do want of nothing. If I want to have a massage twice a month, I do it. Yeah, if I want to eat out at nice restaurants, I can do it. The money is definitely a perk. But also, Korea is an extremely beautiful country. It's so diverse, and another perk is the amazing transport system. I'm able to travel to visit friends in different cities for the equivalent of about 100 Rand. And to think, I mean, what it would cost you to travel from Cape Town to Joburg is just, it's not even in the same ballpark. So travel is amazing. They have the subway, trains, buses, taxis, etc. And although I do love my country, hence the South African flag in the background, it's really nice to walk around Korea and just kind of feel safe. But I'll leave it at that. I currently teach at 3 schools, which is quite a common thing for that you can expect if you come to teach in South Korea. They will place you often at more than one school. So I have my main school, which I teach at 3 times a week, and then on a Wednesday and Thursday I teach at 2 other schools. They are all middle schools, and my main school is a all-girls school. Teaching middle school has its pros and cons. I think at that age group, their English level is starting to cement itself, and a lot of my students understand the importance of learning the language. However, in every class there are a handful of students who are typical teenagers, moody, don't want to listen, quite rude to me. And that's something that I've learned not to take to heart and not to get really upset about, not to take personally. And that's something you have to learn as a teacher. You will be confronted with students who might say inappropriate comments or treat you in a way that you consider disrespectful in your own culture, and you really just have to take it with a pinch of salt and understand they are at a strange age, and possibly their culture is just different to your own. Strangely, I didn't. I spent several months kind of waiting for that moment where I'd just be like, oh my gosh, I'm in South Korea and everything is so strange and different. I haven't really. I found the transition to be really natural. The only thing that I kind of really miss about South Africa, or that makes me homesick, is obviously my family, but food. Korean food I found to be a major adjustment. I really like spicy food, so that's not an issue for me. And I haven't found the food to be that spicy here. But the strange textures, flavors, unusual ingredients have been something that take a little bit of adjusting to. Kimchi, which some of you may know, is kind of part of the staple diet in Korea. It is fermented cabbage in a sort of slightly sweet, salty, spicy, sour, dressing is the wrong word, but that is something that gets served at every meal. And I find that in a restaurant it can be delicious, but eating it at school, so food is something I miss about home. Wow, so many. I think it's just incredible that I'm able to have this amazing, life-changing experience and actually earn money doing it. I think to be able to marry the concept of traveling with doing a job that I find stimulating and also earning money is really amazing. I really do love Korea. I haven't had a single day here where I've sobbed my eyes out or called home saying I wish I could come back. I have been here for about 6 months now, so it's possible that after another 6 months my feelings might change a little, but overall I found it to be extremely rewarding experience, super stimulating. Yeah. My advice would be to do your research before you come. Korean culture you'll likely find it to be quite different from your own, and I think when you travel to any new country it's important to understand the culture of respect and the etiquette. Korean culture has a huge tradition of respect, and it's based on an age system. So the way that you speak, the way you address yourself to an older person is very different to the way you would address a younger person in terms of the language that you use. So my recommendation would be to get to grips with those kinds of traditions and the etiquette that you will be exposed to. I would spend time speaking to people who are currently in Korea or have finished the program, just to find out more about their procedure and what life is like here. I would recommend learning a bit of the language. From day one, I found that my co-teachers and my students were extremely impressed by my ability just to say 안녕하세요, which is hello. They really like that and can make your transition a lot more smooth if you know a little bit of the language. Don't be too quick to go for the first offer, the first contract that comes up. Spend your time finding sure that you're going to be in the right place, at the right school, and that your contract is all the things you're looking for. Beware that Koreans will try and squeeze as much work out of you as possible, so make sure that your contract is not forcing you to work on weekends or anything like that. So that would be my advice. Anything else, you can contact me personally if you like. I'd love to share more of my experience with you. And if you want to find out more about it, you can also check out my blog called Eat, Play, Teach. 안녕히 계세요. Goodbye. Find out more about it, you can also check out my blog. Okay, that was cringy.